In a shocking turn of events, my checkpoint was also shit. Didn't even put me after the title card. Lovely. Well, welcome back to Aviary Attorney. My investment in this game is gone. I don't care anymore. It's kind of critical how important logic is in stories like this, because the characters don't take basic actions that would immediately end the story. Kind of just shatters my immersion immediately, and now I don't give a shit anymore. So, let's just finish this, shall we? Hope you don't harbor too much hate for the madam. I know the roost was your friend, but the madam does what she does for the good of France. But boy, this is awkward. It is a bit. Perhaps a round of drinks are in order. After all, this is a tavern. What do you two say? Not thirsty. Me neither. I get it. You're both a little shaken by what you saw. Can we at least get you some wine? Just a small glass to calm the nerves? Fine, whatever. Very good. Serves don't matter. You still in for the omelet I generously paid for last Friday? Yeah, but you owe me for the coffee on Tuesday. That's 30 cents of coffee deducted from 60-cent omelet plus 25 cents per peanuts you swipe in my pantry. Listen, Sparrowson, you need to go. Go? Yes, I'll create a distraction. You head straight for the back door. That's a good idea. If we both stick around, we can both end up as dead as soon as we rub that lioness the wrong way. If we both run, these two will probably shoot us in the backs. So the way I see it, one of us running is the most viable option. Don't argue. Once you're out, find Fraternitè and tell him what you've seen. Okay, so it's agreed. You got this round and I'll owe you 2 cents. Yep, and I'll hold you to him 2 cents. Be right back. Don't you move or nothing. He's holding me 2 cents. Pierre is such a miser, whatever. Anyway, I don't feel like sitting in silence. Just talk to pass the time. I'm tempted to try this because I don't give a shit anymore. Let's do it, you know, why not? Look behind you over there. Hey, what the hell is that? Look like a golden retriever to you, monsieur? I guess not. No, indeed, just I'll fetch whatever you pretend to throw to become a dog. How offensive. You're right, I'm sorry. Great. Once again, choice is not mattering. Whoop-de-doo. I've got a question. To go on. It's whatever. What's better, iron or lead bullets? Delightful technical question. One could discuss the subtle differences for hours, so let's do that. So it's lead bullets, they're cheap, they're easy to make. Soft, whatever, I don't care. Bought drinks, one for me, one for you, one for... Hey, where's the little one? The little one? He's right. Oh, Merida, I lost him. You lost him? How'd you lose him? I was gone for 2 minutes. I think I dropped the ball on this one. I'll say the madam's gonna string us up for sure. We should make sure we can make up a cover story. We can't let her find out about this. You can't let me find out about what? They let Sparrowson escape. Madam, we can explain. I swear I gave you 2 bozos 1 damn job. Doesn't matter, the little bird was dispensable for our plans. The falcon isn't. What's important is that he's still here. Madam, if Sparrowson runs to the police, then both his location and the sleeping city are compromised. We should keep this meeting brief. Agreed, Falcon will quickly fill you in. As you probably know, we're planning to form a protest, an enormous protest on the 14th of this month. We intend to draw a massive crowd to the I'm assuming that's Plaza de la Concorde, and then we shall march across Tuileries Garden. A march across Tuileries, you tend to storm the Louvre? Nope, the Palace Royale. That's where the king and prime minister will be residing. I would like to go in peacefully, but peaceful uprisings have a habit of turning violent, don't they? Exactly, and we can't let the leaders of this country escape amidst the chaos. They must be tried for the crimes against the French people. On that note, I want you to lead the prosecution. You want to prosecute the king of France? The king and the prime minister, they are both responsible for the rampant inequality that plagues this country. On the days of the revolution, we'll drive both those overpaid bourgeois onto the streets, and you should prosecute them then and there. I think I understand prosecuting the pair for crimes against humanity. I suppose it could certainly be done. If I were to interview a lot of citizens, gather a lot of evidence, file some paperwork, I could probably prepare a case in around 2 months. We don't have the luxury of time. Use your ingenuity on the day, just like you did in the catacombs. You can't be serious. There's no alternative. The wheels of the revolution are already turning, and the revolution will ignite under a week. The question in my mind is, what do we do with you until then? You can't leave him with us, man. We'll keep a good eye on him. After seeing the atrocious job you two did out guarding the little bird, I think not. I'll just have to guard you myself. You shall spend this week by my side while I complete our preparations. At your side all day and night? Absolutely, I'm not going to let you out of my sight for 1 minute. Seems excessive. You can trust me, madam. No, I can't. You promised to help me, but I know that you don't actually believe in the cause of the Second Republic. If I give you one greater freedom, you will undoubtedly flee. This meeting is over. Come along, Falcon. I just hope that this game ends real soon, because I'm about at my limit with this bullshit. What's happening over here? And then when we were sitting in the tavern, Falcon gave me the opportunity to escape. He created a distraction and I sneaked away and went straight to the police. Then you called a meeting and, well, here I am. So yeah, that's the whole story. I see, so Severn Kokoro died at the hands of the rebels. That's right. And Falcon revealed his true colors as a traitor. A traitor? No, that's not right, Inspector. Falcon's not a rebel, he's just playing along until he can save his own life. Don't be so naive, but oh, I swear to fucking God, if you think he's... If you are... willingly left into the lion's den for the specific purpose of siding with the rebels. You're brain dead if you... Oh my fucking God, you're so goddamn stupid. No, they went in there to save Kokoriko. God, everyone in this universe is just a fucking moron, I swear to God. He let you escape because he could see that you weren't truly sympathetic with the rebel cause. Doesn't make sense at all. I'm sorry. Hey, Sparrowson, now would be a good time to bring up the fact that I chose, as a reminder, I, the player, chose death over siding with the rebels. But the game doesn't remember that, because if it did, then this would be a great opportunity for Sparrowson to say, that makes no goddamn sense. Falcon was the one who chose to die over siding with the rebels, but I was the one who actually said, let's go with the rebels. But since this wasn't very well written, they're not gonna do that. Fucking hell. Thomas Preston, what do you know about Falcon's past? Not a lot, he's a private person. Has he ever told you what he did during the Dry Revolution before he changed his name? He hasn't told me anything, really. Let me tell you about the man they call the Viridian Killer. I don't care. As if my investment couldn't have been further nuked from this game. I don't really give a shit what Falcon did in his past. I just don't care. Look at the disgusting den of Fat Cat Borgias and hypocritical politicians. The king's probably in there as we speak. Probably sitting in his high chair, stuffing his bulleted face with cake and wine while he boasts about being the perfect citizen king. Can we just moan about the king? No, I've come to assess a potential battleground. On the day of the rebellion, I might order Pierre to set up a barricade over there. What do you think? There, right outside the Palace Royale? Of course, it's the perfect place for a defensive garrison. We can gather furniture from nearby buildings, build a wall, and position of rifles to fend off the police. When the time is right, it will serve as the ideal location to launch our assault on the palace. So you weren't just throwing empty words on the tavern, you actually do intend on dragging the king out of the palace through violence. Of course, he will never abdicate on his own throne. It's not as if I want to see blood, said Falcon. It's necessary, it's inevitable. I mean, we have to be realistic. There's no way to bring change to a country without using violence, is there? There are ways. I think there are ways. People look back in the violent memories of history, the executions, the wars, the bloody revolutions. But who's to say that a country could not be overturned through the chance of the people? A passive resolution? Interesting, I would love for such a thing to be possible. Maybe it would be better to avoid building the barricades. At least until it's clear the violence is inevitable. That's good, it's good compromise. I'm hoping that it's just gonna end with Sparrowson running to save the day or whatever, and not having to go through another trial, because that would be very much painful. Well, let me guess. You have a weapons supplier somewhere around here. Maybe this is where you plan on meeting an informant or a government defector. It is as good a meeting spot as any. Actually, I'm here for groceries. There's no need for that look. You think just because I'm a gun-toting rebel I don't need to buy food? Mambomore. Well, if it isn't Satane and Little Gambade, you're growing bigger every time I see you. That is how age works. Ma'am, you have to hear this. Something big went down here yesterday. A policeman, a nasty, ugly policeman. Let me guess, he was bullying people into revealing secrets on the whereabouts of the revolutionaries. Well, that's how it started, ma'am. Same old bullying tactics. He was pushing around this old beggar rat who hangs around the market sometimes. But then when the rebels were speaking up, the policeman drew his gun and shot him. The policeman shot the beggar just like that. But then the coward cop went and ran before we could turn on him. I find it difficult to believe. A policeman wouldn't openly shoot a beggar without just cause. Open your eyes, Falcon. This is the regime us Parisians live under. We are ignored by the government, oppressed by the police, and hanged by the courts. Why do you think I'm fighting so hard to make a change? We can't put up with this sort of bullying. No, this can't be right. Something has to be missing from Satan's story. And if I ask you a couple of questions, sure, ask away. Make it quick. Who's the rat? Who is this beggar rat? I didn't really know him well, none of us did. He's kind of a loner who hanged around asking for scraps of food and cents. I don't even know his name. Then what good are you? Did you have no family, no means of support? You have an idea how many beggars there are in the streets of Paris? How many people go hungry? How many people are forced to turn to crime? I'm well aware, madam. I'm asking these questions to see if there were perhaps some reasons why that particular rat was killed. But no, it appears that this was just the loss of one unnamed beggar, right among many. It's tragic. That is, Monsieur. Is there any other way that I can help? What did the policeman look like? I didn't get a good look. He was tall and ugly and mean-looking, and he had one eye. One eye? He had one of them pirate patches. Oh, did he now? I know manifest description, it simply couldn't be him. He's a bitter individual, but he's morally righteous. I can't imagine him shooting an innocent person so recklessly. To let your bias towards the justice system affect your judgment, Falcon, says the person who just held a trial out of what appears to be revenge. Because if you were actually consistent with your principles, then you would have actually let us check on Kurigo's body and prove that he wasn't shot by the rifle. But you clearly don't care about that. Well, actually, no. You clearly do care about that. It is clearly intrinsic to your character that you want to reform the justice system, but that all came crumbling down in the catacombs. I just love this game. I think I should bite my tongue until I'm a little more certain. You want to know anything else? And nobody investigated the shooting? If a policeman did the shoot an innocent person, then there would surely be an investigation. Your naivety knows no bounds, Falcon. You think the police care if one of their own is out of control? Actually, there was one bloke asking around, but I don't think he was a policeman. Go on. He was just charming fox. Renard. Friend of yours, Falcon? Something like that? We should probably pay him a visit to see what he's up to. Suppose we can set aside a little time for something else? It's all I'm thanks for your help. No problem, anything to help. Try to get to the bottom of this, Suzanne. Just make sure to stay safe when the revolution starts. Stay inside, keep Gambad safe. Of course, ma'am, you stay safe yourself. And groceries were never bought. Alright. Let's keep going. Visitors, Monsieur Roupe's visitors. Really, Falcon, what do you hope to accomplish this sleazy back alley establishment? Sleazy? Madam, my back alley office is perhaps a little cluttered and eclectic, but I resent the accusation of a sleaze. Maybe I should do the introductions. Monsieur Roupe, this is Madame Bamore, a friend of mine. Madam, this is Rainer Roupe's private investigator and at your service. It is a pleasure to meet you, madam. How stoic. I'm sure you have some pressing questions to ask, but before we get started, there's something I must tell you. Monsieur Sparrowson dropped by earlier. He informed me of the situation. Sparrowson, is he alright? Oh yes, he's now working with Inspector Volity, attempting to unravel the rebel plot. Just as I thought. It appears that your lackey has solidified his position as a traitor to the Second Republic, Falcon. Perhaps, perhaps not. Sparrowson doesn't strike me as a person who has sides with any ideology. But you know, he asked me the most peculiar question. Would you like to know what it was? Of course. Such information is quite valuable. It would cost, say, 30 francs. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah. Sparrowson asked if you were the Viridian Killer, the one responsible for the random bombings during the July Revolution 18 years ago. Perhaps the inspector had been telling him stories, so what did you tell him? The truth, of course, it is I have no idea who the Viridian Killer is, but I knew it couldn't possibly be Falcon. How do you know that I'm not the Viridian Killer? Falcon, please, you're semi-drunk but a bumbling oaf, but not a ruthless killer. Anyway, I've started my own investigation into the Viridian Killer. It's fascinating stuff. Apparently, he was seen in multiple places at once, leads us to believe that he was actually more than one person. Do you know what they call him, or should I say them, the Viridian Killer? Viridian's the greenish color, isn't it? No, I don't have a clue. A greenish color. I don't have a clue. Crimson Killer with a much cooler name. It appears no one knows the origins of the name, which leads me to suspect that he or indeed they chose their own names. It's all fascinating, but perhaps we can return to the conversation to why we're here. We heard that you were investigating the murder at La Halle. I was. The victim was a friend of Mousie's. More of an acquaintance, really. We want to know if you managed to recover anything. Did you find any leads, any juicy clues? Not as such. It's quite a peculiar case. Here, the murderer wore an eye patch? I did. You know what that implies, don't you? You only know of one police officer who wears an eye patch. Where is he? I don't... here he is. Inspector, that can't be right. You wouldn't describe him as a murderous man, would you, Monsieur Volpes? Murderous? I don't know. He's certainly passionate about finding the Viridian Killer. Who's to say that he wouldn't kill in the pursuit of his archenemy? I want to solve this mystery as much as you do, but time is pressing and we have other matters to attend to. We must take our leave. Understood? Until next time, Monsieur Volpes. Goodbye and good luck, Monsieur Falcon. It was a pleasure meeting you, madam. Monsieur Fupes? The lioness looked pretty angry. Is this revolution going to end in blood, just like in 1830? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Alright, now to the Tuileries. Let me think. It takes 10 minutes to walk from the Place de Concorde to this very spot. And the Palace Royal lies 5 minutes north of here. But the crowd will be fairly large and slow, it may take twice, maybe 3 times as long to make the move. Having a logistics problem, madam. Perhaps the plan is to walk the crowd from here through the Tuileries to the Palace Royal. But if we take too long to pass through the Tuileries, the police will trap us in. We can be flanked and slaughtered. It's quite an issue. I don't know. Why not just go around the Tuileries? It's a nice wide main road that leads straight to the palace front door. You can avoid the garden entirely. Marching across the gardens makes for better political statements, but I can't fault your reasoning. Going around would diminish our chances of being stopped and trapped. I'll pass the idea along to Piero and see what he has to say. He's the one in charge of leading the crowds, after all. That bird-brained Piero would probably just shoot the idea down, right? Probably, but I appreciate your input. I don't know if you genuinely want to help, if you're just telling me what I want to hear out of fear, but, thank you, Falcon. It's no problem, madam, for the Second Republic, right? Right, for the Second Republic. Alright, where's left for us to go? Pont des Arts. Anyone getting chucked into the river this time? This is it, Falcon. This is the day we make our stand. Everything is coming together. As we speak, Fontaine is gathering the protesters at the Plaza de la Concorde. Piero is making preparations to build an arm and a barricade near the Palace Royal. It's a precaution, do you understand? The only question that remains is, are you ready? Of course. Bring on the revolution, I say. That's the spirit. Come on, let's see how the protest is going. Falcon and Bamore arrive at the Plaza de la Concorde. They are sick with the chants, shouts, and cheers of hundreds of protesters. A line of mounted soldiers stand shoulder to shoulder outside the entrance to the Tuileries. This is amazing. I had no idea the Second Republic had this many supporters. But of course, you didn't think that we were just a few animals huddling in a cave, did you? The desire for revolution runs deep in the city. Everything's in place at the Palace Royal, ma'am. Just say the word and we'll set up the biggest barricade you've ever seen. Then we can all storm the building and drag that cocky king on his chair. It's been a change in plan. We're still going to protest, but we're going to do it peacefully. No firing from behind barricades, no violence, no capturing the king or prime minister. Madam, are you feeling alright? Quite alright, thank you. But what of your desire for better France? You cannot achieve that without bloodshed. We certainly can try. Falcon convinced me. Falcon? Pacifism seemed like the Christian approach, wouldn't you say, Friar? So that's how it is. Excuse me, madam? I think the Friar disapproves of the new strategy. He probably thinks I've gone soft, and maybe I have, but I'm not deviating from this path even if each and every rebel leaves my side. Don't worry, you aren't alone. We're not here for the violence. As long as you strive for a better France, we'll always stand with you. But meanwhile, someone's cooking up a different scheme. Ooh. Damn things open up again. What's the news, brother? Everything in place? You have a problem? The Mademoiselle refuses to use violence. She's turned timid. Turned timid? It appears the lawyer is something of a lion tamer. J.J. Falcon, the bird is proving to be more trouble than the rooster, I swear. Brother, listen, if there is no violence, then there will be no power gap. One leader will just peacefully replace another. We need chaos for our plan to work. Guess I'll have to follow through with our contingency strategy. I'll find the victim, you find the suspect. Don't push yourself, brother. You're still injured. Look at those scum, foul vermin, the lot of them. Mark my words, Farrison, every one of these petulant dissenters will take the first opportunity to turn aggressive. They lust for violence. They don't look too violent to me. Trust me, this is just how the crowd looked before the July Revolution. It only takes one crazy individual and the entire crowd will explode into a frenzy. Hey, it's you! Fire, it's good to see you again. Time for pleasantries, Inspector. You're needed urgently on the Plaza de la Concorde. Why not ask one of the officers on active guard duty? I'm time to explain any minute now. Do you hear that gunshot? It's already begun. Come on, Inspector, we must make haste. I really don't think you should be trusting this friar. He's a two-faced wolf. Try to move with reliable information in the past. You, Fraternitè, shall we run down the list of reliable things that Falcon has done for you? You fucking moron! Jesus Christ, I can't fathom. These people are so stupid. Shall we run down the list of things he's done for you, and shall we run down the list of things that wolf has done? But Inspector, this isn't up for discussion, it's Paris, and I have duty to uphold. Then what's the point of talking to you if nothing's up for discussion? God, how did the game fall apart so quickly? What should I do now? Fuck off into a hole? I don't know. A gunshot. It was nearby too, so the fire was right. Violence really is an inevitability. We haven't reached the stage yet, madam. I can't afford to take chances, not now. P.O. march the crowd to the palace rail and construct the barricade. Yes, ma'am. Fontaine, Falcon, we're going to find the source of this disturbance. It came from here, Inspector. Hurry, hurry. Moving as fast as these old legs will... Mon Dieu, a body. The woman must have been the target of the gunshot we just heard, but I don't see a shooter. The gunshot came from over here. Inspector? Falcon? I should have known that Valeria didn't kill whatever part. Oh my god, you're insufferable. Inspector, I'm not... What do we have here? A filthy cop and a dead girl. Madam, thank goodness you're here. I saw the whole thing. This poor innocent mademoiselle was approaching the police line with their hands in the air. When all of a sudden, the spirit of a police inspector yelled, "Get back, you filthy rebel." He drew his gun and shot the bird point blank through her heart. Oh, what's that? Do you mean it was a fucking dumb idea to trust this man? What's that? Are you an idiot after all? Wow, who could have fucking guessed it? Thank you for your input, Remus. It's hardly surprised me that a member of the police would be the one to cast the first stone. I think we're all being a little rash. To take a breath, examine the situation, and wait a moment, you wear an eye patch. You only have one eye, Inspector. How observant. Tell me, were you the policeman who killed the little rat at the halls too? What are you talking about? Two incidents of a one-eyed policeman gunning down an innocent victim is no way that is a coincidence. What we have here is a filthy, corrupt individual who takes pleasure in oppressing the common citizen. Am I right, Inspector? Shouldn't be surprised that a stupid rebel makes stupid assumptions and comes to stupid conclusions. But open your damned eyes, mademoiselle. I'm not the assailant here. Your guilt is plain to see, given the circumstances I ought to judge and execute you right here, right now. Falcon, don't just stand there gawking vouch for me. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do you want my help? Oh, you want my help, do you? Oh, that's really funny, because I could have sworn that about a minute ago, you were saying that I was this horrible Viridian killer. Well, guess what? The ball's in my court now, and I'm not helping you out of jack shit if the game gives me the choice. Never seen him before in my life. Is that the kind of cold-hearted response I respect? Oh, and just like that, he flips right back. Yeah, fuck off. I'll see you in hell, Falcon. Help me escort this individual to the invalid to Piero's barricade. I'll slant his fate there. With pleasure, madam. Come along, Inspector. Bye-bye! See you later, bitch! Fontaine, Falcon, deal with the corpse. Meet us at the barricade when you're done. There's no way this was the work of the police. You know what, Falcon? I think you might be right. An isolated gunshot this far away from the police line, it doesn't make any sense at all. But that's rebellious for you. They're very messy affairs. Sometimes innocents get caught in the crossfire and there's no reason for it. No use throttling, help me get the corpse off the streets. Not yet, I'm going to examine the body first. Examine the body. Agree this wasn't the work of Inspector Valerity, right? There might be some kind of clues in the corpse to point towards what happened. An impromptu coordinated examination. Hey, game. If I've gone down the route that says that I'm choosing to pretend that Valerity is guilty, then why do I have to examine the body? Why do I have to do that? Oh, it's handprint. Okay, cool. Anything else? What else do we get? Nothing there. Can examine. Alright, there's no blood stain there. Bullet wound, bullet size. Okay, help to treat the bullet. Why not? There we go. We got it. Bullet is ours now. Cool. I guess we can check the hand. Maybe the girl is faking her injury. Just for the sake of thoroughness, we'll auto check for a pulse. Nothing. Okay, there's nothing left to examine. I'm done here. I'm very good. Let's move the body off the street. Then we must hurry to Palace Royale. Rest in peace, mademoiselle. We'll see to where the justice is done. That is just completely inconsistent with what just happened. You can't go off about how you think he's really the one who did it now. You've never seen him before, and then suddenly turn heel and say, "I'll make sure justice is served." That's, man, you don't give me choices. It's that simple. The game shouldn't just you shouldn't give me choices. If nothing I do actually matters, except for the one choice that breaks the entire story, then just don't even bother. Madam's probably fuming right now. She'll attack the Palace Royale. The Prime Minister will flee. And then, excuse me, monsieur. What do you want? I'm busy. Don't you recognize me, monsieur? I know that my disguises are a little more complex than yours, but I assume you recognize Prince Swan when you see him. You're Prince Swan? Indeed. And you're Judge Romulus, the corrupt wolf. I know what you did. You tried to assassinate the king, you shot the croc monsieur, and just moments ago I saw you murdering a maiden at the Palace of the Concord. You truly are a violent individual, aren't you? Yeah, as if you have any proof of any of that stuff, I'm out of here. I also know that you're one half of the Viridian Killer. On any other day, I would gut you where you stand, Fox, but as it happens, I'm a little busy today. Oh? The Viridian Killer is too busy to kill me? Is that the truth, or is that the bullet wound of yours starting to affect your prowess? You must have lost an awful lot of blood. What do I do? What do I do? Oh, Mr. President, perfect timing. Who now? Oh, you're that fledgling. I guess this is what they call being stuck between a rock and a hard place, huh? Monsieur Sparrow's gonna be a dear and help me restrain the Viridian Killer. He's the Viridian Killer, he looks more like Judge Romulus to me. Well, you would be right about that, too. So it's just scumbags in one, alright then. Mind the wound. Quit your whining, Your Honor. Very nice takedown, Monsieur Sparrow. You may want to check his pockets for weapons. He's something of a notorious killer, after all. See what we got here. Here we are. Pistol. Yeah. An eye patch. Whoop-de-doo. What's wrong with an eye patch? It's not explained. He framed him. Yeah. Whatever. Except Mr. DJ Falcon. If my fears are correct, he'll be somewhere on the Palace Royal right now. Tell him it belongs to his brother. Hurry now. Let's go 2. Need to find the other half of the Viridian Killer before something terrible happens. Monsieur Vilbes, what am I supposed to do with this guy? You have his gun, don't you? March that wolf to the nearest police station and collect your reward for capturing Judge Romulus. What a strange day. Outside the Palace Royal, the rebels have constructed a makeshift barricade out of the furniture, branches, rocks, and anything else they can find. From behind the wall, the rebels taunt the police and royal guards with chants. Growing impatient, pay, confess your crimes. I have nothing to confess, you filthy rebel. You and all your rebel friends, however, should confess to the 1,000 counts of treason and public disorder. I will see each and every one of you hanged for your flagrant disregard of the law. Your stubborn attitude is disgusting. A few days ago, you were seen at La Hall. Witnesses saw you murder a beggar in cold blood. Today, a friar was testified to seeing you murder a girl again completely unprovoked. I don't know why you continue to plead your innocence, but it doesn't matter. I don't need a confession to know that you're a killer. You are so inconsistent with your morals. Inspector didn't shoot the mademoiselle. What was the point of... Keeping me close, Falcon. I'm not listening to your suggestions. The policeman is as guilty as ever in the monster in our decrepit justice system. It has my duty to execute him. Madam Falcon has uncovered some pretty convincing evidence. I would recommend you hear him out. It's gonna be 5 minutes, and I can convince you of the inspector's innocence. 5 minutes is precious time, and a time like this, I can't afford it. What is you wrong? And are you willing to see another dead innocent? Thank you, madam. Having my life saved by the Viridian Killer, how humiliating. Shut the fuck up, you goddamn... I hate everybody here. Life is mine until I say otherwise. So first of all, let's recap on what Friar Remus had to say. Wait, where is that friar? He's key witness of the crime. He scarpered as soon as he dropped the inspector off. He said he had business to attend to. Business? Man, oh man, those barricades are looking pretty scary. But I mustn't fear, for I am a brave duck. I am the great Officer Beck, handsome, intelligent, strong, truly a fearless hero who will be remembered for... Hello, officer. Ah, you skipping, monsieur. Friar, actually, Frere Remes. Listen, officer, I have something of great importance to tell you. I was just passing by the rebel camp and I overheard a conversation. It sounds good, do go on. They said they were going to launch an assault very soon, and when they do, they're going to rain hellfire on this palace. Oh no, just as I feared, what'll we do? It's simple, officer. As soon as you hear the first gunshot, you need to retaliate. Hit them with everything you've got. Every cannon, every rifle, every piece of artillery. Don't leave a single piece of the barricade remaining. That is the only way you can be sure to survive. Total annihilation. I like it. But Friar, I'm confused. Aren't you a Christian? Yeah, so what? I don't know. Just looking at you, it doesn't seem very Christian-y. Ah, so you think this is a moral issue. Let me tell you a secret, my dearest duck friend. There is no God, no overarching morality or higher plan, no heaven to save the righteous or hell to punish the sinners. There's only you, your artillery, and 10,000 rebels who want to dine on Peking duck tonight. Understand? That's an awful lot to take in. Then let me simplify. It's you or them. It's me or them. Forget about the Friar Falcon. We all remember what we had to say. Present your case based on what you can recall. Okay, I will, but you may want to wipe that mouse off your shoulder first. So I wipe what? Oh, it's you, Mousy. Monsieur Falcon, special delivery from Rainer Volpes. Thank you, Mousy. What's this? An eye patch was found in Remus's brother's clothing. No time, Monsieur. Just take it. I have to run, Monsieur, but you have to do your best. Monsieur Volpes and Sparrows believe in you. Sparrows, no Izzy's. No time, good luck. Quite done, Falcon. Very much. Let's begin this trial. Alright, let's remember what the friar said. Select a statement to question. Can I just tank this? Am I allowed to tank this one, or do I have to cross-examine stuff? The girl was shot point blank in the chest. Oh my god. Just let me pick. Clay shot in the back. I've never seen the bullet with myself. It's quite a glaring inaccuracy in the wolf's testimony. It's an accuracy, relevant accuracy, relevant amount the girl shot in the front of the back. Either way, the girl died of the pig's hands. It does matter. It does matter. I hate this. Your moral principles are undone by your actions. If the girl were shot in the front, then this might indicate a police confrontation turned ugly. But if she was shot in the back, then what? This could indicate that someone targeted and assassinated her before she could even react. Doesn't paint the inspector in a particularly flattering light, Falcon. You're missing the point. A shot to the back breaks the currently established narrative. The girl was targeted and murdered in a stealthy professional attack, therefore there was not an ordinary police confrontation. You made an assumption, Falcon, but assumed that just because the girl was shot in the back, she must have been stealthily killed. There are possibilities. Perhaps the girl was scared by the police, started running away, and was shot in the back as she fled. Scenario is impossible. If the girl was running away, then she would have been at least a couple steps away from the killer at the time of shooting, right? I know the killer was standing right behind the victim, the less than 1 meter apart when the gun fired. How can I possibly know that? I can know that because of this. We saw a bloody handprint on the girl's shoulder. What do you make of that, madam? I assume any blood stain belonging to the victim, marked with the girl's dying breath, perhaps. It's been a left hand on the girl's left shoulder near the arm of her back. The angle positioning of the print indicate that it can only be caused by another person. Let's listen to the curl right behind the girl at the time of attack. You've left an important question unanswered. Why was the handprint bloody? The print was made with the victim's blood. Yes, it can't possibly have been made prior to the shooting. The killer must have wiped his hand on the girl's clothing after she had already died. If that's the case, since my suggestion is still possible, the girl may have been running for the police when she was shot. Still trying to work at the details to know the print was made prior to the shooting. Maybe the shooter was injured and her hands were covered in blood. Talk about breaking the established narrative, and now you present me with that baseless drivel. Where do we go from here? How does this handprint nonsense really affect the situation? You find something funny about the situation? The whole trial is patently absurd. It's an animal court through and through. Every trial in this game is an animal court. There was something particularly funny about that last exchange. You're both so focused on when and how this handprint was made that you missed a larger issue. I don't have a Latan, you idiots. I couldn't have possibly left that mark. Alright, of course. Well, madam, what do you say to that? Maybe the handprint came from an accomplice, or maybe it had nothing to do with the incident, or it feels good to see someone else speculating wildly for a change. I don't have a solid explanation. It was conceded it's possible, maybe likely that the person who left the mark was the murderer. For much as it pains me to say it, I must concede that the inspector probably did not shoot the girl. So that's it, the inspector is off the hook. Still a matter of the incident in the hall. One incident is this and nothing about it. If you don't know, a beggar out was shot and killed in the hall a few days ago. The detective was described as a Salem police officer who wore an eye patch. Yeah, well, what do you find out about the eye patch that I just got? Madam, what do you know about Remus' twin brother, the man known as Romulus? Not much, only that he was forced to flee the country by our oppressive government around a month ago. That's a half-truth, madam. You see, it is correct that Romulus is being hunted by the police, but I've had the suspicion the wolf was lurking in Paris itself, although I never managed to find the definitive proof of this. Anyway, it turns out that my suspicion was well-founded. He was recently apprehended, I think. I don't know the details, but it doesn't matter. What's important is that a reliable friend found us on Romulus' person just moments ago. Romulus has perfect vision. Why would he need something like this? There's only one possible explanation. It's part of disguise, something that conceals identity and make him appear as someone else. This guy's saying that Romulus shot the bigger rat just for his police inspector. Exactly, madam. It's no coincidence that Fred Remus happened to find the very same inspector just as another murder occurred today. So Remus was on it too. Two wolves working together to make this policeman look like a murderer. But why would they do that? To rile you up, madam, to make you lost for violence. And if your actions today are anything to go by, I would say that they succeeded. How did I let myself get misled by a couple of wolves? Trial's over, go inspector, you're free. You're letting him walk? Of course, it would be criminal to confine an innocent man any longer than necessary, even if the man is a bitter, stubborn pig. I don't understand you. You're stupid, you're reckless, but you fought beacon talent for my freedom. I'm starting to suspect that you really aren't a ready kill after all. Oh, really? Whoever could have guessed it? God damn it. It didn't take a long time to pass that fact through your thick skull. Inspector, if you're still hunting that villain, maybe you should speak with Reynard Volpes when this is all over. I mean, I hear he's been doing some research into the Viridian killer. Maybe he knows something. It appears that your gang of rebel filth don't intend on assaulting the palace anytime soon. I'll relay the information to the artillerymen. Maybe we can keep a peaceful standoff until this blows over. Yeah, it looks real peaceful in the background there. All of you stay out of trouble. So what happens now, ma'am? We're going to continue our protest peacefully. We're going to stand here, chanting and shouting until the Prime Minister and the King both step down out of sheer humiliation. It might take days, weeks, but if we manage to change this country without one person being harmed... Well, look who returned. I just saw the police inspector strolling out of here unharmed. Why'd you let him go? Similar to this, we had a discussion. We came to the conclusion that I've been misled by a couple of wolves. How many lies have you fed me, Friar? How many damage have you done to further your own goals? Did you help your brother kill the beggar rat in the halls? Did you watch the girl die by the Place de l'Encord? Now that I think about it, even the croque-monsieur's death was surrounded by details that make little sense. I don't know what to think anymore. You know this guy's a scumbag at least, ma'am? I say shoot him. We won't judge you for killing this man. It's the least I deserve for my sins. Go ahead. What are you waiting for? Pull the trigger. Do it. Falcon, you've proven yourself as having charisma. What do you say? Shoot him. I don't care. It's gonna be a lot more saving. You're right. But maybe don't do it in front of everyone when you're trying to keep the protest peaceful, you fucking idiots. Jesus. Please let this almost be over. That was a gunshot really close too. I can't afford to hesitate. It's me or them. Officer, hold your fire. No way, I can't afford to take chances. It's me or them. It's me or them. I fire over cannon. You could have stopped him. You absolutely could have stopped him. No. That's bullshit. You could have stopped him. You had ample time to tackle him to the ground and stop him. Can anyone hear me? Pierre Fontaine, hello anyone? I'm here, madam. Of all the people, I think I made a mistake. Where did I go wrong? Was it when I pulled the trigger, or was it earlier when I shot the prosecutor? Was it earlier still when I first listened to the monster fire in the first place? A lot of mistakes, all my mistakes, people mistakes spark play revolutions. Can you move? I don't think so. I can clear some of this rubble. Oh, we're still going, huh? We're still, alright. Yeah, I had a feeling shooting it would turn everything upside down. But at this point, I have lost all investment in the story, so whatever. Monsterville pays, and writing to you from the Demio Railway Express. Modern technology is truly amazing. I'm decided to take your advice and I've gone on vacation until things settle down. The King fleeing to Britain, the Second Republic taking over. It's all crazy stuff. Before I left, you asked if I knew what happened to Falcon. I got my hands on a copy of the official police report, and it says Falcon died during the attack on the barricade. But it also says the police didn't find a body, same as Loon Bamore. Weird, huh? Rumors that he was probably blown away by a cannon fire, but it doesn't sound right to me. Falcon I knew was tough and intuitive, and I think he found a way to escape and survive. So I'm still out there as possible, isn't it? I should wrap up this letter because I'm about to reach my stop. I'll let you know how Mademoiselle Signe and her parents are doing. Maybe you should come pay a visit sometime. So in regards to Mousy, you sincerely Sparrison. PSC, a person selling Melira Strudel. What is it? I have no idea. PPS delicious, that's what. Is it over? Are we done? Wow. Oh my god. Man, you guys had such a great opening. You really came out swinging with that first case, and that's not me being sarcastic. You genuinely had a phenomenal first case that really pulled the rug out from under me. And you kept the momentum going with the second case. And then we get to Act 3, and I was already like, I feel like you're moving the things a little too quickly here. Like, it's only case 3, and already we're talking about overthrowing the government. Like, usually you say that I mean, yes, it's the last game, but you usually say that for a little bit later in the game, because it feels like we barely gotten to know these characters after just 2 cases, and only 5 episodes of actual, of the Let's Play. So, there's that. But then, furthermore, so, it started out really well, because what I said in the beginning was, first of all, Falcon and Sparrowson have a great dynamic that's really entertaining to watch. But that was lost halfway through this final case. Furthermore, what stood out the most is that it had all the elements that we were from. I'm just going to say the name at this point. I don't care anymore. I've been cheekily trying to avoid saying the name, but you all know what this is based on. It's based on Ace Attorney, obviously, which is fine. You're allowed to make your own game based on it. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I was impressed with that because they made they deviated a lot. They kept the elements of the core style of Ace Attorney while also adding their own flavor into the mix and changing things up significantly, which made that first trial stand out so much. But then we get to the final trial, and it just felt like so much of the revolution overthrowing the government and the prosecutor as a defendant and all that stuff was stuff we had seen before, for lack of to put it lightly. And it just wasn't handled all that well at all. Especially, I mean, the pacing was rough, but the most important things are that, first of all, the checkpoints are busted, which is, gameplay-wise, but story-wise, the whole story broke last episode. It was done. It was over. That trial was bullshit. And I know there's other pathways where if you actually complete the shopping side quest, then you'll win. I don't really care, because that it shouldn't be the case of if you don't get the proper true ending, then you get a bullshit story. That's not how that should work. I shouldn't have to get one specific ending to have it make sense. So, yeah, that's And then it just went even further downhill today with characters continuing to act idiots in violation of their principles. The fact that Valente even thought for a second that he was a Viridian killer is nonsense. The choices don't matter at all. It's disappointing. It started out really, really well. And they just dropped the ball significantly towards the end. The ending you see was determined by the decisions you made in Chapter 3. Oh, I never would have guessed it. Try tackling the trial in the catacombs in order to see a different ending. No thanks. I have better things to do with my life than play this game again. Well, I gave it a try. And, that's it. Never gonna play this game again. But I'm glad I gave it a shot, I guess. We got some good out of it. Some. But that's not much. Anyway, I'll leave things here, so... hopefully you enjoyed this series. If this is your first experience watching Aviary Attorney, then hopefully you found it interesting to see what it was all about. If you've played it before, hopefully this was eye-opening, so you understand how properly this game breaks itself in that third trial, and then even more so in the final chapter, so there's that. But yeah, with that, I'll leave things here. So thanks all for watching. Stay tuned for next time. I hope to catch you all soon for whatever series is next. Goodbye.